For 1,000 years, the Krezzer Empire believed it was the ruler of the galaxy. Its ships crossed every star system like silver blades cutting through darkness. Its armies walked on worlds no other species dared to enter. Its rulers spoke with the confidence of gods. They believed nothing could stop them. They believed no one could challenge their power. The galaxy feared the Empire more than natural disasters. Where the Empire arrived, freedom ended. Where the Empire marched, civilizations fell silent. Their history was written in fire, ash, and broken planets. Every species learned the same lesson. Resistance meant destruction, surrender meant survival. At the center of this massive force stood Emperor Zalrock. He was a commander known for cold decisions and brutal strategies. He ruled not with wisdom, but with fear. He trusted no one, and no one dared challenge him in his throne room. Maps of conquered systems floated like trophies. Each glowing star represented a world crushed under his rule. Advisors stood around him. Speaking carefully, they told him the Empire now controlled 90% of the known galaxy. They said no enemy remained strong enough to fight back. They said total domination was within his reach. Zalrock listened with a slow smile, his mind already dreaming of the final 10%. But among that remaining space lay a region many of his generals ignored. A region of unstable planets and violent environments. A region marked on old maps as dangerous and unpredictable. That region held a small blue world called Earth. Most empires avoided it. Calling it a Deathworld, the Empire had never bothered with it. They believed nothing important could come from such a chaotic place. Zalrock disagreed. He wanted that final 10% under his flag. He wanted every world to kneel, including the strange worlds humans called home. So he ordered a fleet to prepare for invasion. A fleet larger than what they usually used for small targets, not because he feared humans, but because he wanted to finish quickly. Across the Empire, soldiers celebrated. They mocked the idea of human resistance. They joked that the hardest part of the mission would be landing the ship. No one believed the Deathworlders mattered. No one believed humanity could fight. No one believed Earth could stand against the stars. But some officers felt uneasy. Old reports from explorers told strange stories. Stories of humans surviving storms that destroyed ships. Stories of humans fighting predators 10 times their size. Stories of humans adapting faster than any known species. Stories of a kind of strength that did not make sense. These warnings were ignored. The Empire did not fear small species. The Empire did not fear unknown worlds. The Empire controlled the stars, and they thought they always would. But they did not know the truth. They did not know what kind of warriors lived on Earth. They did not know humanity was watching them too. They did not know the Deathworlder fleet was already waiting in the dark. Soon, they would learn, very soon. They would face the one enemy they were never prepared for: humanity. The Krezzer Empire's invasion fleet entered human space with full confidence. Their ships flew in perfect formation, shining like cold metal predators in the darkness. To them, this mission was simple: arrive, intimidate, conquer. It had worked on every world before. Admiral Vorak stood on the bridge of the lead dreadnought. He carried the same arrogance the Empire taught all its commanders. He believed humans were weak, unorganized, and primitive. He believed Earth would fall with one warning shot. He believed no species from a violent Deathworld could ever build a real fleet. His first mistake was believing old assumptions. His second mistake was ignoring strange readings from the scanners. A quiet alarm blinked on one console, showing unusual energy waves ahead. But Vorak dismissed it with a wave of his hand. He said humans probably used old tech that confused the sensors. The fleet moved deeper into human territory. They expected to see panic, distress calls, or desperate resistance, but instead, space felt silent, too silent. The officers whispered among themselves. Uneasy with the silence, silence was not normal in active space. Silence meant someone was hiding. or someone was watching. Hours later, they detected their first human vessel, a small patrol ship drifting near an asteroid field. It did not move, did not speak, did not show any reaction. Vorak laughed, calling it a useless toy. He ordered his second-in-command to send a message. The message was simple: surrender your world. The patrol ship did not respond. No lights flashed, no engines activated. It simply floated, cold and dark. Like an abandoned shell, Vorak grew impatient and ordered a light warning shot. A beam of blue energy hit the patrol ship. The ship cracked open like a thin stone. Pieces drifted into space, scattering like dust. The Empire soldiers cheered, but the celebration stopped when their scanners updated. Multiple energy spikes appeared around the destroyed ship. Dozens at first, then hundreds. It was as if the broken patrol ship had awakened something. Something large, something hidden. One officer shouted that new objects were appearing around them. Not approaching from far away, they were appearing instantly. As if they had been invisible the whole time, Vorak rushed to the main display. His smile disappeared. All around the Empire fleet, dark triangular shapes materialized from cloaked positions. Human ships, but not small ships. Not weak ships. These were heavy frigates. Cruisers and carriers, each one armored with black metal forged on a world full of storms and danger. Each one pulsed with reactor energy stronger than anything the Empire expected. A single human voice finally came through the comms, calm, steady. Powerful. You fired first, the voice said. Now we respond. Vorak froze. He had never heard such tone from a primitive species. He realized too late that the silent patrol ship was not a victim. It was bait, a trap the Empire walked into with pride and blindness. The first contact was made, and it became the Empire's first mistake, one they would pay for in fire, steel, and fear. Because the Deathworlders had finally arrived, for a long moment, the battlefield was silent. The Krezzer Empire's fleet floated in formation. Trapped in a circle of shadows, human ships surrounded them from every angle. They appeared without sound, without warning, without fear. It felt as if the darkness itself had formed a wall around the invaders. Admiral Vorak stared at the unknown vessels. His earlier confidence began to fade. He expected rusty metal and weak designs from a Deathworld species. But these ships were different from anything he knew. They were sleek and dark, like blades shaped by storms. Their armor looked thicker than the Empire's heaviest battleships, and their engines burned with a cold blue light that felt alive. One of Vorak's officers whispered that these energy signatures did not match any known galactic technology. Another officer reported that the human ships carried weapons strong enough to match the Empire's dreadnoughts. But the most shocking part was the crews inside them. Their life sign scans were strange, unstable, and powerful. They showed heart rates faster than normal, muscles thicker, and bodies adapted to extreme conditions. Vorak felt a chill. He finally understood why people called them Deathworlders. A voice echoed through every ship in the Empire's fleet. "This is Commander Halle of the Terran Defense Alliance." The voice was calm but sharp. It carried a confidence the Empire had never heard from any species. "You ignored our warnings." Halle said, "You attacked our patrol ship. You entered our home." Vorak shouted at his crew to cut the transmission, but the human signal was too strong. Every screen on every ship showed the same message, a single symbol glowing bright. The emblem of humanity, a fist gripping a burning star. Hale's voice returned. "You think we are weak because our world is violent. You think we break easily because our planet tries to kill us every day. You think we are small because we do not conquer. But you do not understand. Those who survive a death world do not fear empires." The words hit the Empire officers like a shockwave. Some felt anger, others felt fear, but none of them felt as confident as before. Vorak clenched his fists, refusing to show weakness. He ordered his fleet to ready weapons, but the humans acted first. The dark Terran ships shifted into battle formation with terrifying precision. Not slow, not hesitant, but fast, clean, perfect. Each ship moved exactly as if it shared one mind with the others. A formation style the Empire had never seen. A formation built through endless danger and survival, then the humans powered their shields. A wave of energy rolled across the battlefield like a rising storm. The Empire scanners overloaded instantly. Bright red warnings flashed on every console. Officers shouted reports. The human shields were 15 times stronger than expected. Maybe stronger. Vorak finally felt real fear. Not fear of losing a battle, but fear of facing something he did not understand. The Deathworlder fleet was not just powerful. It was awakened, ready and angry. Halle spoke one last time. You came here thinking we were weak, but today you learn who we really are. We are humanity. We survive what kills others, and now you face the fleet of a Deathworld. The reveal was complete. And the Empire understood the truth. They had not trapped the humans had trapped them. And the real battle was only beginning when the first wave of human ships appeared. The Empire believed it had seen the full threat. They thought the dark cruisers circling them were the entire Terran defense force. They thought these ships were impressive but still manageable. They were wrong, terribly wrong. As the Empire fleet tried to regroup, the space behind them began to bend. Not a visual glitch, not scanner interference, but the real fabric of space folding under powerful engines. Lights twisted, stars blurred, and a deep vibration shook every ship in the region. The officers of the Empire watched in shock. Something massive was entering the battlefield. From the center of the distortion, a gigantic shadow emerged. A warship bigger than an asteroid, its surface covered in dark alloy that looked like living metal. Its engines burned with blue fire brighter than the local sun. Human symbols glowed on its sides, strong and fearless. This was not a cruiser, not a carrier. Not even a dreadnought, it was a titan of war. A flagship from a species that survived storms and monsters on their own homeworld. Commander Hale's voice returned, colder this time. Terran supercarrier Helios arriving. The Empire officers froze in disbelief. A supercarrier, fully armed, fully manned. And built by Deathworlders, Vorak felt sweat roll down his neck. He realized his fleet was not facing a small defense patrol. They were facing the true strength of humanity. The Helios opened massive hangar doors. Rows of human fighters launched like a flood of metal hawks. Every fighter moved in perfect formation. Every engine burned with the same cold blue fire. The sky around the Empire fleet turned into a storm of human steel. Empire officers shouted warnings. Their scanners struggled to track the hundreds of incoming signatures. The fighters moved too fast, too sharp, too precise. It was like trying to follow lightning with the naked eye. Vorak ordered defensive formations. But it was already too late behind the Helios. Another distortion appeared, then another and another. Dozens of massive human ships entered the battlefield one after another. Battle cruisers, heavy carriers, armored destroyers. All painted in dark Deathworld metal. All glowing with the same cold fury. The second Terran commander spoke. Terran Battlegroup Orion arriving. Then a third voice. Terran Battlegroup Horizon arriving. Then a fourth. Terran Battlegroup Titan arriving. Vorak's heart stopped. Humanity did not send a warning force. They sent their entire Deathworlder fleet. The Empire fleet, once believed unstoppable, now looked small. Their formation broke as fear spread through every rank. Some ships tried to retreat, others tried to charge forward. But every path was blocked by human warships. The humans had surrounded them completely. Halle spoke again, but now his voice was final. You came to conquer. You came with arrogance. You came believing we were weak. He paused. letting the silence cut through the Empire's fear. But now you stand before the fleet of a Deathworld, and here, only the strong survive. The human fleet powered its weapons. A wall of blue energy lit the battlefield. The Empire finally understood. Their invasion was no longer a mission, it was a mistake. And the Deathworlders had arrived to correct it. The human fleet did not fire immediately. They waited, calm and steady. Their ships formed a silent ring of steel around the Empire Armada. Every human engine glowed with cold blue fire. Every cannon was charged but held in discipline. It was not rage, it was control. It was the strength of a Deathworld species that had learned patience through pain. Commander Halle gave the Empire one final chance. "Stand down," he said, his voice echoing across every channel. "You are surrounded, outmatched, and out of time." But Vorak, the Empire Admiral, refused. His pride was larger than his fear. He had lived his whole life believing the Empire was invincible. He could not accept that humans, a species from a hostile world, had beaten him. Vorak ordered his ships forward, a desperate charge. A final attempt to break the Terran line. But the humans were ready. The Helios signaled the first strike. A wave of blue energy beams shot across the battlefield, precise, controlled, unstoppable. The first row of Empire ships exploded before they could even fire. The Empire formation collapsed. Some ships tried to retreat, some tried to hide behind debris. Others surrendered instantly, but there was no escape. The human fleet moved like a storm with a single mind. Every fighter, every cruiser, every battleship worked together. They advanced with perfect unity. Explosions lit the void. Pieces of broken Empire ships drifted like burning snow. The once proud armada was turning into a graveyard. Vorak watched from the bridge of his flagship. His face pale, his hands shaking, all his confidence was gone. All his arrogance had turned into quiet fear. The humans did not attack his ship, they surrounded it. They disabled its engines with surgical precision. They wanted him alive. They wanted the galaxy to see what happens when an empire underestimates a Deathworld species. The battle ended in minutes. Not hours, not days, minutes. The Empire, known for conquering hundreds of worlds, had fallen to humans in a single confrontation. The galaxy felt the shockwave. Every government, every council, every warlord heard the news. The unstoppable empire was stopped. The Deathworlders had changed everything. Commander Halle addressed the entire galaxy. His message was calm but powerful. Humanity does not seek war. Humanity does not seek to rule. But we will not kneel to tyrants. Earth will stand free. And any who threaten our home will face the full strength of a Deathworld. The message spread like fire. In distant systems, small planets celebrated. Many had suffered under the Empire's rule. Now they saw hope, for the first time in centuries. They saw a force strong enough to challenge their oppressors. Vorak was taken into custody. The Empire Council fell apart. Worlds that once obeyed them rebelled. Borders shifted, alliances changed. And in the center of this new era stood humanity, not as conquerors, but as a species the galaxy could no longer ignore. The galaxy had changed forever, and the Deathworlders had become its new guardians. The age of the Empire was over, and the age of Earth had begun.